What is up? Happy Monday, baby. Rock and roll. Look who's back. Look at this. Bell K.
I feel like I've forgotten how to do everything.
How are you, sir? How was your vacation? How was your time away from? Did you miss us?
Well, yeah, that's why I had lunch with you yesterday.
Yeah, we did. We hung out yesterday, which is nice because coming up in the second hour, we had Jerri Green in, and it was a good conversation. Again, conversation. And me was just talking to Chris. Chris goes, she should come on my show. I said, you know what? I'll reach out to him, tell him, give him your number, and tell him to come on your show because I don't think she would say no. No, she's not afraid.
No, I think she's willing to talk to anybody that wants to talk to her.
Yeah, because she's willing to talk to people of Tennessee, and she's been doing it every day, literally. Literally every day. So we're going to play that in the second hour. But it was nice. We had a little Mexican food, and it was good to see you, and you're back. We had Ryan in last week, Rain Man Ryan.
Yeah, I'll be here for 3 weeks, then I take another vacation.
Many of you guys listening go, no one, man, these guys take vacations all the time. You notice I have yet to take. I think I've taken, I can't even remember. I think this year I've not taken any days.
You haven't.
No.
And you're insane for not doing it.
Well, here's the thing. It's always trying to line up my morning show and this, because taking a half day is something I'm not interested in. It's like, if I'm going to take a day, I want to take a day.
Yeah.
And my cat, see, here's the other thing. My cat's not going to let me sleep. He doesn't let me sleep, never lets me sleep.
Put him in the cabinet under the sink.
He just, at 1:42 a.m. every single day, he wakes me up and he wants to play because I don't know what to do. He thinks he's a bat or something. And it's every single day.
You don't set your alarm clock anymore, do you?
No, I've never even gotten to my alarm clock. So he does not allow me to do that. So Bell finally made Bell. Yeah. Bell made bail. Good for you, sir. Good for you.
Somebody help me out.
Did you do anything fun?
Not really.
You saw Spidey Man.
Oh, yeah, I did. Little long, but still good. It was worth taking the time to go see in the theater.
Should I watch the previous Spider-Man?
Absolutely.
Before this one?
It will help you understand a lot of the plot points. Otherwise, you'll be going into it cold, and they'll be talking about things that you're like, wait a minute, what's that?
Okay. Yeah. See, I didn't know. I did not know because I keep thinking that it's a different dimension, but it's not. It's just he erased everybody's memory.
Right.
And that's what's his name? Stephen?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Stephen Strange.
That's what he did. We had Mexican food yesterday. It was pretty good, man. I never had that place before.
Yeah, I've worked here 11 years. And it's been there the whole time.
So, in fact, we could see it from across the way, and because I'm always looking for good Mexican restaurants.
Well, there was a large Mexican family in there as we were leaving.
Yes.
So if there's Mexicans in a Mexican restaurant eating Mexican food,
that's a
then
win.
You know it's got to be good.
And if the parking lot's full.
Oh,
yes.
Yes. And it could, it's one of those things where, look, I got to be honest with you guys. If I go get my Mexican food, I want to know that the English, for most of them know, is just from whatever's on the menu. Right? Because if they know more than that, there's a chance it's not good. Got to be real, and you got to taste the beans, man. That's the other thing. Beans will tell you how good the place is going to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, Ken, what day is it?
It is the best day of the freaking week.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it is. It is Monday, which is the best day of the week.
Ken walks and grinning, Chad says let's go. Belle sees the calendar and moves real slow.
Ken says best day.
Chad says no blues.
Belle says not again.
And stares at his shoes.
Ken and Chad love Mondays.
They love Mondays.
Yeah, we do, baby.
Love them.
Love Mondays. Excited about Mondays. That's also the other thing. I'm excited about Mondays. It's hard for me to sleep.
Yeah. I practiced today by waiting until the very last minute to leave to make it here on time.
I'm glad.
And I did.
You did. I love that.
If your philosophy on Monday being the best day is really true, why aren't you getting here early so you can enjoy more of it?
Well, I was. I came up here both Friday night, then again Saturday morning,
Yeah, but that's not Monday. That's
Yeah, but it's practice, man.
Yeah, it was practice.
It's practice.
Yeah, but
We love doing this.
I'm not talking about practice. I'm talking about execution.
Yeah, but we love doing this. Practice is where you make your money. Nobody ever pays you to play the games, man. They pay you to practice.
Plus, I don't want to take Monday time away from people. Like, I don't want to be selfish and take up people's Monday time before I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah.
That's very kind of you.
Yeah, that is. That it's very kind. I like that you do that. That's the person right there that's he's selfless, and that's what we love about him. By the way, Belle, we found a dating website for you.
What's it involve? Short people?
No. How do you feel about horse and buggy?
Oh, Amish?
Yes.
I don't know. It's do the girls go on that Rumspringer thing?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll go out with one if she's on the Rumspringer.
No. We want you the whole thing. Listen here, Abraham. That's your new name, by the way. Your name's Abraham Yoder.
I prefer Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, whatever it is, man. Yoder. You're a Yoder now. We were last week. We're like, imagine the sandwich because this girl that was on CBS Sunday mornings. She's got 8 million followers now. She left, but she still doesn't quite get modern world, but one of the things she loves to make is a Amish cheeseburger, which is just a grilled cheese, but it looks amazing. And Belle would like that.
Why do they call it an Amish cheeseburger?
That's just what they call it. They call it a cheeseburger.
But they eat meat, right?
Yeah, they call it a cheeseburger, but she just didn't know what in their world, she didn't quite get what a cheeseburger was.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a grilled cheese. But I think you're going to look so good in the black outfit.
Well, I would be okay with the black outfit. Plus, the hats are pretty cool.
That is.
And tell him what he's got to do on the date, Brother Chad.
Okay, so this girl, so how they date, which we found out about, which was very fascinating, is after the 40 hours of church, the girl invites you over, and you go up at 9 o'clock at night. You don't talk to the family. You go up into her room, and you crawl in bed with her, and stay there till 4 a.m, and that's your date.
You're joking, right?
No.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
They would let
they let them do that, right? So, and that's just it. Now, you're not supposed to do anything, but she's not saying that there's not kissing and some stuff that may happen or not. The whole thing is getting to know each other. And then if you want to invite her to go on, but you don't talk to the parents. That's the other weird thing. You're not allowed to talk to the parents. Right?
This just strikes me as odd.
It does. But listen, I don't make up the rules, all right? I tried to be Amish, but then I said, I'm going to go with the Buddhists. They look like they got stuff going on. And then I became a Shaolin monk. So I'm one of the bigger ones.
And the room that you'll be staying with the lady in, it's got to be pitch black.
Yes.
You won't be able to see anything.
Yeah.
This sounds very weird.
Yeah. Listen, we don't make up the rules. Watch Belle does it. We hook him up with some chick, and then the next thing you know, Belle's like, I got shot in the ass. Apparently, that's not true. Might have been from that sect. That's all we're saying. But dude, think about this. You were always wanting to get away from it all. How much more away from it all can it be?
That is true. Are you allowed to have your cell phone with you? And
that's if you're a Mennonite. And I don't know if the Mennonites are on this.
No, I'm saying as if I'm going in there as a non-Amish to date this girl, am I allowed to have my cell phone with me and all my modern day, utensils?
Well, you're going to take them anyways. Utensils.
Well, I know, but what I'm saying is, would they allow that?
I don't know. I mean, each one's different, man. They may let you, and you're worth it too.
Yeah,
right? You tell them that I'm worth it.
Now, at any point, am I allowed to test her sandwich making skills?
Well, that's the whole point. That's why we figured Amish were best for you, because of all the people that make sandwiches, they butter.
I mean, if she can make me a slamming grilled cheese, there's points right there.
That is, yeah. And you're going to love this. She's going to be great too. They got the hat, the whole 9 yards. You don't have to worry about anything.
Can't do the beard though. I don't have enough facial hair to do.
They'll probably have to glue some on you.
Yeah, probably.
You'll be fine. Maybe you want to go Mennonite, which is like Amish light.
I thought that was a hygiene product.
No, that's by Mennonite. What's up, Ken? How you doing, brother? How you feeling?
We're getting through.
Yeah.
Getting through.
It's been a hell of a weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, it sucks, dude.
Yeah.
That absolutely sucks.
It does, man.
It's just, it is it sucks getting older.
Yes.
Stuff happens.
Yes, it does. And sometimes it just doesn't go away.
No, it doesn't.
Remember how things just used to go away? Now things just don't go away anymore.
Couple aspirin, maybe a stretch,
Yeah.
maybe take a nap, wake up in a few hours. I'm good to go.
They show up, and you're like, well, I didn't expect this, and I guess I'm going to live with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, people just learn to live with the pain and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's what we're going through. Lots of it.
And then you couldn't work out of the house today because our stuff.
Yeah, my equipment just I don't know, it just kept going offline. It'd be online, then I'd check it 5 minutes later, and it'd be offline. So, I wanted to, I like for Mondays to be like that anyway.
Well, yeah. Well, that's part of keeps you. That's why we practice.
Right.
This is why we practice, Bell.
And so I just thought, well, heck, I'm going to wait another 10 minutes, and I'm going to wait until the absolute last second before I leave. And I did.
There you go. And you got here
And I
in time.
made it.
Yeah. That's the beauty of how we practice and why we do what we do.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to get me to practice for a Monday. It ain't going to happen.
We can barely get you to do stuff.
What if a pretty young Amish girl was to change your mind?
I've been doing stuff all morning.
What if she says, hey, Belle, I fancy you, in her Dutch accent, because for whatever reason, they still have Dutch accents.
Interesting.
Which is very interesting, but they do. A lot of them have very Dutch accents. And they're like, hey, Belle, for there, yes, I fancy you, or, whatever they're saying there. Right? And you're like, oh, my God, I love you, too. And I would like you to come over and meet Abraham, my father. And,
I thought I wasn't supposed to talk to the parents.
well, no, because you've already now gone and probably fornicated or whatever, which you weren't supposed to do. But whatever.
And you can meet them. You just can't say anything
Yeah,
to them.
yeah, because they know who you are, but they don't know that you guys are courting, and you're not supposed to introduce yourself to. You're supposed to go straight into a room.
You're going to hang out in their daughter's bedroom. You're going to spend the night there, and they're not going to know anything about the relationship?
No, because she has to decide if she wants you to walk her home the next day or after church. So
Can't we take a buggy?
I don't know if they allow that in the courtship.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to. Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be going buggy in any. It's really weird. Wait a minute. So I can get in bed with your daughter, but I can't take a buggy ride with her?
That's a little weird.
You guys you think we're weird. But you know what? The beauty of it is you're going to be loved there. They're going to think this guy's awesome. This guy, Bell, this guy's a character. We love him. So I'm excited for you. It's going to be great. How do you feel about Canada?
Not a big fan.
Well, a lot of them are from Canada, and we have a trade war, and I don't know if they're 50% off or 50% on right now.
I abide by the South Park rule, which is blame Canada.
Yeah, we are blaming Canada because of the thing that they're doing. And we got economic D-Day, which I'm pretty excited about. We'll probably talk about that. We
All
might
that
not.
stuff.
I'm so excited. So much stuff to talk about. In the second hour, we are going to play our interview yesterday with Jerri Green and, go from there. I will say this, love her, hate her, whatever. I mean, and she even says that. The reality is she's out there talking to people, which you've got to like. And a lot of other people aren't, in particular one lady who's not. And we've asked her to come on the show 1,000 times, Marcia, and she's not. She's not going to come on the show. And that is what it is. I mean,
and when you go to cast your vote, you should take into account the fact that she's not willing to come on and answer hard questions.
Yeah, or any question. Because I'm not going to grill Marcia and be mean to her. I just want to have a conversation with her, have fun. I'm not going to go, you're the worst, you're the devil.
I wouldn't expect that you would do that to anybody. But, she hung up on Chris Hand for asking legitimate questions of a gubernatorial candidate.
Yeah, yeah. So that weren't hard questions about the marijuana. That's it. Speaking of marijuana, guess what happens when you put all those massive laws in where you start to crush how much THC you can have in certain things and the potency and this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden, your tax revenue falls because it is fallen here on the hemp world big time. And wow, there's more money we're not getting. And last time I checked, we could use money for potholes and whatnot. Talk about that. A bunch of other good stuff on the way as well, including beef. What's up with the beef?
Where's the beef?
Yeah, all of a sudden we're going to let Mexican beef in again.
Yeah,
Yay!
we're doing all this stuff again. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but a lot of the beef farmers aren't thrilled by what's going on here.
No.
They're not. And there's a reason for that. We'll talk a bit about that as well. And, of course, Bell does sports. We've got a lot of good things to talk about. Happy Monday, baby. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. Home Title Lock. It's so much easier to steal a house than ever before, and Home Title Lock's got you covered with that. Easy in today's world now to go and to do something that is as simple as going to a coffee shop, picking out a house, going, okay, I know who owns this house now because everything's public record. And from here, I'm going to fake everything with just a few different things with AI, including your signature. Now put the title in my name, and I can do anything like take your home, sell it out from underneath you. Better yet, take a whole bunch of loans out that you never know about. And then boom, when all is said and done, you're sitting around going, what happened here? Home Title X got you covered. 24/7 assistance when it comes to monitoring your title, which is what you want. Then from there, if you become a victim of title fraud, they'll spend up to $1 million of their own money help you restore your title. So don't assume because you're like, I've got homeowners insurance. Not the same thing. Check your title, find out what's actually on file. Go to HometitleLock.com/Benson. Use code Benson. You get a free title history report. That's HometitleLock.com. Code Benson. On top of that, you're going to get a free trial of $1 million triple lock protection, which is great. HometitleLock.com/Benson. Promo code Benson.
Economic D-Day on Iran, Canada, and the U.S. trade war escalates, and the mother of actress Hayden Panettiere is speaking out. These stories and more coming up at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, man. Looking out there. Got the Iran. We're coming after you guys. We're going after your stuff and your people and other people and stuff. And
We're going to win so many times that you're not going to be able to
you
take
weren't
it.
here, dude. We won like 8 times last week.
That's more than one a day.
It is. There was a few days we did a couple. We took Friday off, but we won a couple days like 3 times.
Well, we extended Monday to 25 hours.
Yeah, so that's we double won. That was pretty awesome. I know, it's crazy. I mean, I didn't even. And now we've got this whole economic D-Day that's happening, and we're going to go after. Here's the thing: if we don't go after China, then I don't care. That's it. That if you're going after like Luxembourg or Liechtenstein, but you're not going to go after China because that's all that matters. That is their biggest trading partner. They're the ones who fund everything. And China likes their cheap oil. So if you're not going to go after them, then it matters very little. It's that simple. And I don't think Trump's going to go after him. Not now, when we got all these big tariffs coming. Now we're going after Canada. What did Canada came out earlier? They threatened our threatening our electricity.
Yeah.
This is why again are we doing this? I mean, this felt like it came out of nowhere again, right? Because like 2 weeks ago, everything seemed to be okay with us in Canada.
Yeah, I thought just out of the clear blue, boom.
They say we're mad at you guys, so we're gonna do stuff to you, and I'm like, why?
I guess a deadline came up that we had forgotten about because there's been so many deadlines.
Yes, yeah. I don't even know what tariffs are in effect because remember he lost in court, and then from there, he then reinstituted some other tariffs for 10% for like the entire globe.
Yeah, from what I understand, fishing poles out of Canada,
Hockey sticks.
it will now be very expensive. I mean, I get the hockey sticks, but I mean, do Americans buy a lot of Canadian fishing poles?
I don't know. Zepco, they're fishing at the Canadian company.
They have like massive tariffs on us when it comes to things like milk and dairy.
Yeah, but those things have never been used because it has to reach a certain level before the 200% tariffs ever come in, and it's never ever even come close to that.
Not even a little bit?
No, not even a little bit. We don't use because so a lot of that stuff is like, well, they got 200% tariffs, and you go and you look, and like, yeah, but it's never been used. We've never even gotten to that point.
It's like the 90% wealth tax in the 50s.
Yeah.
Nobody ever paid that.
No. It sounds good. It sounds terrifying, but I mean, I don't. Good God. Why are we picking a fight with Canada? Because they want to be, what did Trump say? They want to be the 50. They want all of the fun of being the 51st state without having to do anything?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is going to be interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. Coming up, talk a little bit about Iran. The hemp. What's going on with the hemp? You guys haven't heard about the hemp issues. Obviously, we have some issues here with hemp and with THC and stuff like that. And no taxes, kids. We didn't get a lot of taxes in that. Oh, and our girl Kylie. Oh, we had to talk about this. We had to talk about Kylie today.
On a Monday?
Even before?
Yeah. And it has nothing to do, well, it has to do with what she says, but it's not, we're not going to play the audio. We'll play that on Wednesday, but what's going on? Because there's articles written about her now.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's all happening, kids. It's all happening. Besides that, we also got Bell with sports. We'll see how he does. Have you been missed? Did you watch any sports ball?
No, I did not.
All right, fantastic. That's what we love
Should
Bell.
be a great report.
Should be awesome. Couldn't be any worse than Ryan's. Like, Ryan would just come on and go, so, yeah, red team. And that would be it. It's Ryan right there. Rain Man Ryan.
He knows more than I do about sports.
No, he doesn't. We finally found the one person who do today. Happy Monday, everybody. Champion Show Super Talk 99.
12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Economic D-Day, that's what in history. ABC's James Longman has the story.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the goal is to, quote, sever every economic lifeline until Tehran stands alone. Now, Iran is warning that if the economic war continues, quote, not a single drop of oil will be exported through the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the rhetoric and the ongoing U.S. blockade on Iranian ports, we are now approaching 6 months since the U.S. and Israel launched their attacks on Iran, and there is no sign of a resolution.
Canada and the U.S. in a trade war. Canadian officials pushing back on the new tariffs that are now imposed on Canadian imports into the U.S. We get more from ABC's Karen Travers.
50% tariff on Canadian goods coming into the United States. The White House, though, this morning, even as the president is digging in and now announcing the potential of new tariffs that he says would not go into effect until January 1st. Unclear why he would wait so long for that. We, of course, have asked the White House. But they're also downplaying the potential impact on American consumers and the American economy.
The mother of actress Hayden Panettiere is speaking out in an exclusive interview with ABC News. Panettiere died earlier this month at the age of just 36 in an apartment in South Carolina. Leslie Vogel says she's still processing everything that's happened and says she has been receiving criticism about her grief.
I would say to the haters out there, you don't have a right to tell me how I mourn the loss of my second child. That's my domain.
And it may take some time, but meat lovers may soon see relief from record high prices. ABC's Jim Ryan says a ban on the importation of Mexican cattle into the U.S. expires today. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Last week, 40 trillion. It's a lot of trillions right there. 40 trillion. That's what we surpassed. And that means in the future, things are going to have changed. That includes taxes. That's why you need to call Beacon Capital Management. 615-488-9303. With Beacon, one of the big things that they talk about when it comes to investors is like, you're at retirement, you're near retirement. It's about keeping your money, right? It's not just about how much you've saved and how much it's growing, but keeping that money is important. And that's why you want you to talk to Beacon. They help retirees and pre-retirees develop a tax strategy designed to help create a better tax efficiency plan throughout the retirement. And there's no doubt that in the future, we're going to probably see taxes rise. And some of these things that are out there right now, including some of the stuff that with Social Security and stuff that you're able to take, tax break on is going to expire. So you've got to take your opportunity to run with this and get ahead of it. And that's why Beacon. Call Beacon. They're going to help you evaluate strategies aimed at reducing the impact of taxes on your retirement today. 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303, or online at askbeaconnow.com. For Beacon Capital Management, this is a paid placement. Happy Monday, everybody. Enjoying ourselves on this gorgeous Monday, hour two. Going to be interesting. We had Jerri Green in yesterday. Very nice. Her and her team of one person. Alex, that was her.
Alex.
Yeah, she was great. They came in. Good conversation. We're going to reach out to, see if they can come on Matt's show, come on Dan's show, come on everybody's show.
It's funny, though, because her security guard from the Tennessee Highway Patrol has been working for the governor's office for a while.
Yeah.
And I had met him when he came in before with Governor Lee.
Yeah. And he was very nice. That guy was very
great
nice.
Great guy.
So, I just, he was really a good dude. And like I said, there was very, we're going to play it. You guys can decide how you feel about it, and that's why, and, we want to bring Marsha on too, and we're non-confrontational. I want to learn, let you talk about the things that are going on out there, and then people can decide for themselves. I'll never tell you who to vote for. Vote for, I don't care if you write Trump down for governor. I don't care if you write, Marcel Marceau. Right?
Wasn't he a mime?
He is, and mime is money.
Spinal Tap.
It was such a great thing. Mime is money. Ken, we forgot that Bell wasn't here last week and Frank Beard died. And we started getting worried because we figured you killed him.
No.
He did not look good. They played last night.
That doesn't surprise me.
No. Billy's like, we got stuff to do. And they knew.
Well, yeah, he was in hospice, so they knew he was close.
Yeah. I was watching an interview with him. He's all, man, heroin is just, it's a great escape.
Yeah, you talking about Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like escape from reality. You're like, okay.
I love when he went, I mean, I don't love the fact that he had to go into rehab, but when he did back in the late 70s, they were talking to Billy and Dusty about, so are you going to get another drummer? And they said, no, he is our drummer. And then Dusty said, I'm going fishing.
It was funny because he was never shy about admitting that he took his $32,000 advance when they signed to Warner Brothers and spent every dime of it on drugs.
Yeah.
Well, he liked to party. I don't know if you're aware of that. A lot of people in music like to party.
Yeah. Some of them leave us way too soon. Now, Frank lasted a while.
They did.
He apparently got himself straightened out.
Yeah. But it's there's a picture going around about a month ago. TMZ got a picture of after a show, and he looked like a skeleton. And they still, do we know how he died?
I have not heard.
No, if it was cancer or something like that. I don't know. So it would be, again, they lived a good life, man. Most people would sign up for that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
50 million. Living the life, most people would say, that's decent life, traveling the world. Yeah, okay, he had some issues, there's no doubt, but to live that long, and you got to figure the rock star life they led, you got to add at least another 15 years onto that.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
100%.
And Billy gets to tour now as ZZ Top and doesn't have to split the money.
No, there you go. Well, I'm sure he does.
No.
Eldon's going to want some of that.
No, I'm sure he gives them a taste, but he ain't getting what Dusty was getting, and the drummer ain't getting what Frank got.
What about the estate, though? For the music and whatnot, playing it on stage?
I'm just talking about touring.
Okay. Well, don't they get paid for that, being just even playing it, the music?
Yeah, but that's paid through ASCAP or BMI.
See, look at that's why we got Bell here. He's Beltanica. Guys, we expected in 2026 $56 million from hemp taxes. Are you ready for this? It's a big number right here. We collected $1.4 million.
Since the ban?
Uh-huh. They expected 55.8. They got 1.4, and they're like, I don't know what happened. Wait, you mean if we ban it?
No taxes come in? What? Okay, we got to tax somebody else to make this up.
So, yeah,
Waiting to hear that happen.
What are we doing? Again, it goes back to what are we doing? Why again? Or what's this ridiculousness of us not? I mean, I don't get it. That's huge. That's a decent amount of money. That's the kind of money that could fix stuff, potholes, make sure the garbage trucks are up to date, things like that.
Wouldn't be Nashville without potholes, though.
Yeah, that's what we should have. We should have a pothole restaurant. It's funny because on the Tennessean they've got a picture of. It's a picture of a dude who's turned an apple into a bong smoking.
You can do that for real.
I know you could do that, but of all the pictures to put up, they're like, this is a good one.
Right.
This is a good one. And I'm just like, really? This is what you're doing? But That's tax money that's gone. And what do they say? A lot of stores have closed up, and a lot of stores have just moved across the borders. And so that tax revenue is going elsewhere. It's not that it's going away. Do you think somebody who was taking gummies is just like, I'm out. I can't do it anymore. Nope, I'm out.
Well, remember, it's a gateway drug, so they do a gummy one day, and then the next day they're on PCP.
That's how Frank started. Took a gummy one night. By the way, we were laughing with Jerry. You guys will hear it. We're talking about how we joke about how you take a gummy and you throw yourself into
a wood chipper.
To the wood chipper.
You can't help yourself.
No, you can't.
Well, if you ate a whole bag of gummies, too, I mean, that's a death sentence right there.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. You kidding me? And she gave us the numbers yesterday. What do you guys hear the numbers about how many people have died from overdoses of marijuana? I was surprised. Crazy numbers. But think about this. We're worried about property taxes. Imagine if we hit these things in such a way where that could offset some of that stuff.
No, you're talking too much sense.
Stop it.
They might
Can't
repeal
have
the
that.
ban.
Yeah, my God. Next thing you know, they're going to come after us for our tuna fish boat. I know they're trying hard for that. Damn tuna fish boat. So I was shocked at first of all, because I always like to go look at all the comments, and people are like, I can't believe it fell that much. I'm like, you have nothing to sell anymore. That's it. And many of you last week when we talked a bit about this, you guys all started saying, hey, if you really want stuff, these people, they pretty much put it in a box and it's undetected.
And what has this done to the wood chipper industry? Nobody's talking about that.
Crashed it.
It's crashed.
Doesn't exist
We're not getting
anymore.
sales tax off that anymore. These guys are going out of business.
I haven't seen one on my way home on I-24 since.
God.
It's insane. We're putting these people out of business, and all they were trying to do is sell a wood chipper.
Yeah. But one of the things that I think is a big deal is how much money Big Pharma throws at stuff and how much money Big Alcohol throws at stuff. They don't want the competition.
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
And it's not government's job to decide winners and losers in the marketplace.
But they do.
Big Pharma would probably like to get their hands on the gummies.
Yeah. And I've always wondered why Big Pharma didn't go, all right, guys, look, it's not going anywhere. We're spending God knows how much money on all this research and development when we can do a quarter of that and just go into the weed business, and we've already got the thing set up, and we can partner with farmers around the country, and I've never understood that.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Damn with the sense. I got to stop with this. I blame Big Wood Chipper, says TV. Oh, Lord. That is insane. WTN would be a great place for a conservative radio station. You guys should get one.
Don't say things that hurt my feelings.
Conservatives don't take gummies. They take goomies.
Speaking of that, number one growing, some of you guys need to hear this, number one growing demographic for marijuana use is baby boomers.
Might be because of all the pain.
Might be because of all the pain. I just remembered, so my wife would go get her gummies in Arizona because it's legal. Right around October, all of a sudden it went from her, because it's still hot outside, people going in and out. It's really a small thing. Right around October, November, all of a sudden, what did you have? A line for 30 minutes. Why? Because the Canadians and the Wisconsins and all of them all show up, all the snowbirds. Why?
Yeah.
Because they can't get it anywhere else. And you know what they love? To not be in pain. That's what they love. The little old lady at church, she's going through breast cancer at her age. You know what she wants to do? She doesn't want to hurt. And she also wants to have an appetite.
Well, then she needs to take an opiate.
It's the best thing. It's the best thing for it. But it would, overnight, guys, I'm telling you, it was just a trip how many people would show up. And it was all these Canadians. And they would just go and they get their gummies and because they're not smoking it. They're not waking it bacon. And this is really before seltzers took off or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't like the idea that if they unbanned it, suddenly I have to go and ingest marijuana. I don't want to be forced to ingest marijuana.
It's good. You know what? You're right about that. I forgot all about that.
They up in the ban, and suddenly everybody is going to be taking pot.
Taking pot.
Taking the pot.
Taking the pot.
Taking He started taking pot.
Oh, how was school today, kids? First, they put me in a dress and made me be a trans. Then I had to do Sharia law. And then, after recess, I had to take the pot.
In the girls' bathroom.
In the girls' bathroom.
Wound up in the teacher's lounge, and they were all smoking Maridahoochie.
I can't believe it happened. Jiminy cricket. Oh, and then last class of the day was Bible math. To learn about, did you know that the world's only 42 weeks old? And Jesus, he rode a dinosaur.
I had this weird vision in my head last week, and I don't know why it came up, but I was thinking about Mary trying to give Jesus a bath, and every time she'd go to put him in the water, he would just end up walking on it, and she couldn't bathe him.
She couldn't be. Dude, what gummies are you taking?
I was getting ready.
You got to get some of those. Hey, kid, get you some of those.
Such a funny image to me, though.
You won't be able to do that on your date, by the way, Brother Bilal.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, dude. Could you imagine the weed that the Amish would grow?
Oh, man.
Oh, it would be amazing.
God, what do you have in butter lipstick? Whatever name. Oh, this one's called Raising the Barn.
Butter lipstick.
This one's called Raising the Barn, man. This is going to be awesome, brother. I think you're going to love it. You're going to
Imagine
love
their
it.
brownies.
Oh.
Imagine their THC-infused brownies.
Oh. Yeah, and here's the other thing. Then we're going to find out that they're all stoned and no more is Raisin Barns will be half finished.
That's why they don't care about machinery.
That's right.
And they do get one finished, and they don't move it, and it just sits there on the side of the
It's also
highway.
like that. And they're outside playing jacks all day. You've been playing jacks all day because they can't play computer games.
Oh, that's right, they can't. Man, that would be. I know if you don't miss it, if you never had it, you don't miss it. But it's still just thinking about having to live such a limited lifestyle is just unbelievable to me.
I thought that's the whole point with you.
What?
You want to live where you're just unbothered. How much more unbothered can you be?
Well, I guess that's a good point.
Right?
Man, I ran across a account on TikTok last night. Some dude has got like a makeshift houseboat that I think he built, and he just tools up and down the Tennessee River where the national parks are.
Yeah.
Because it's free. You can just, I mean, you've got to move every day, but you can go to one part of the Tennessee River in the national parks, and you can just tie up to the bank there for at least one day. And as long as you don't stay for more than 2 days, you just go to another part of the bank.
Really?
And he's done it for 2 years.
That is insane. Well, and you don't have to, if you've got a houseboat like that, we're living on the tuna boat because we're doing it different because we're professionals.
Thanks to Ron and Scrappy.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for that. And we'll be out there doing tuna stuff, catching stuff. It's going to be pretty exciting. But, you got to think about how cool life that would be. You know who else lived on a boat? Was it Joe Manchin?
Yeah.
Joe Manchin lived on a boat for all the years he was in D.C.
Yeah, but his probably had running water.
Oh, God, Joe.
This old boy's boat does not.
He's roughing it.
His bathroom is the river, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, that's fun. That's not as fun as you think it is. You guys get in there and you look over as you're floating around and some dude's urinating there. You're like, this is gross.
Can you imagine them pulling a boater over and going, step out of the boat and do some sobriety tests?
Oh, yeah. That's right. You could do well.
There's no way. How do they sobriety test a boat driver?
Same way they do a car driver.
Yeah.
Get him out and have him walk a line?
Yeah.
That's a little hard to do.
They got to swim a line.
That's right. But, man, living out there, think about all the money you'd be saving. Throw up a Starlink in our canoe. Just float around, guys. It'll be fun. Who's with me?
Well, that's considered a whole lifestyle unto itself.
It is a
there
whole
are people
lifestyle.
that do that.
Yeah.
That literally, going all the way back into the 70s, remember when James Garner, Rockford Files, he lived on a boat the entire time.
My buddy Lance and his family, they all lived on a boat. I stayed with him one summer in Long Beach at the down at Marina Pacific. It was awesome. He lived on a boat. His sister lived on the boat. And his mom and dad were like 4 slips down. And they only ever lived on a boat their entire lives.
Wow.
Interesting.
It was so weird. I used to think, how weird, but then how cool this is.
Yeah, it does have a certain appeal.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But, I mean, you're also, you're outside all the time, which is awesome, and that vitamin D is great. But at the same time, now it's much better because you have TV. You have all the things that you really didn't have that much of because you just had antenna TV. Now you could have all that stuff and not have to worry. Maybe we should do that. Let's get a boat and live on it, guys. We'll do the show from there. Coming up, speaking of, guys, he's right here in front of us. His name is Bell. He does sports. And all last week he was home. He was working on sports stuff. I'm pretty excited about what he's got to come up with. So be prepared. And by the way, remember, if it's a good bet, mortgage the house, right? That's what you need to do. And put it all on whatever Bell says. I'm just letting you guys know. That's our tip for the day. Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 99.7. Bulwark Capital is awesome with all the chaos, all the craziness going on, the ups, the downs, the sideways. Should talk to my friends over at Bulwark Capital. It's absolutely free. They're going to give you a Know Your Risk portfolio review today. So this is where they go through your portfolio, whether you're in retirement, you're just an investor, you're working up to hopefully having the retirement you've always dreamed of. They're going to give you a second set of eyes, which is awesome. Talk to you about what they do. One of the big things they always talk about is you can't grow if you don't keep it, meaning risk management, lower risk, lower cost, lower volatility. Number one thing that they focus on is that risk management. So why not get a second set of eyes? Listen to what they have to say. It's absolutely free. Worst case scenario with Bulwark, you're going to learn a little something when it comes to what's going on in the accounts, what's going on globally, and you can part as friends. Sign up today at knowyourriskpodcast.com. That's knowyourriskpodcast.com for my friends at Bulwark Capital Management.
The Trump administration announces economic D-Day on Iran. This story and more coming up at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, all right. Let's see how he does this week. He's been practicing.
Now it's time for Sports with Bell. When you need to know sports information, you turn to the guy who calls basketball shooty hoops. Let's talk some sports with Bell.
So what goes good with football? Hookers.
Oh, I know. I saw that. That is the best story of the day.
Did you see how Jed York, the owner of the 49ers, got busted for prostitution and got a wonderful, sweet little deal where he got credit for time served. He only had to pay an $1,100 fine.
Hope he can afford it.
And they reduced his charges.
Did you see where they arrested him? It was like a trailer park in Ohio.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable.
Gosh.
What is that about?
Weird.
I can't even believe that. You pled no contest Monday morning.
Is he married?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
What'd that cost you? Well, it's $200 for that, and then $2 billion.
Half my fortune.
Oh, lordy, lordy. All right, coming up. She came in yesterday. Jerri Green. She's running to be governor on the Democratic side of the battle, if you will, going up against Marsha. She joins us, and we're going to play you the interview in its entirety outside of Bell's phone ringing. And then he had to cut that out. But outside of that, you get the whole thing. We don't hide anything here. This is Chad Bench, Super Talk 99.7.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. The Trump administration is calling it Economic D-Day on Iran, saying they're going to target those who do business with Iran. We get more from ABC's Karen Travers at the White House.
The big question, of course, will be, is China going to be impacted by this? Because, of course, they're Iran's top trade partner. And for a variety of reasons, we've seen the president not want to go after China in order to put pressure on Iran. Bessent said that the objective of these new sanctions is to, quote, ensure Tehran stands alone, trying to put more pressure on them to end this. Bessent also said that at this point, the war is, quote, entering the endgame.
A U.S.-Canada trade dispute is escalating after President Trump announced new 50% tariffs on Canadian cars, auto parts, and steel starting next year. The announcement comes just days after negotiations between Washington and Canada broke down. American consumers could see higher prices for new vehicles and products that use steel as manufacturers pass along added costs. Canadian consumers may face economic fallout from job losses and counter tariffs that could increase prices on some imported U.S. goods. And it may take some time, but meat lovers may soon see relief from record high prices. ABC's Jim Ryan says a ban on the importation of Mexican cattle into the U.S. expires today.
The embargo was enacted to prevent the spread of potentially deadly New World screwworm larvae in U.S. cattle herds. Now that the ban is being lifted, at least in a limited way,
the laws of supply and demand are fully in play.
Tracy Tomasic is with the Texas Farm Bureau.
If we have less supply, it gets more expensive.
With imports increasing, he says the price should begin to come down. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Well, this story might sound familiar. Nearly 2 weeks after severe storms hit Indiana, thousands are still without power in Gary. And Mayor Eddie Melton says he thinks it's because not enough line workers were on standby to help before the storm.
It's been extremely difficult, very frustrating to be without power for so many days. Folks with medical conditions, individuals, and children not in school. So it's something we're going to be recovering for quite some time, even when the power comes back on.
NIPSCO, the Indiana State Power Company, says it expects all power to be restored by tomorrow. Hayden Panettiere's estranged mother speaking with Good Morning America. Here's ABC's Alan Kosick.
Leslie Vogel telling ABC's Rhiannon Alley about the moment she learned her daughter had died from a possible drug overdose, days before her 37th birthday.
I was numb. I was just numb.
The actress suffered cardiac arrest last week. The police report claims her on and off again boyfriend Brian Hickerson and his brother Zach were there and called 911. Hickerson pleaded no contest in 2021 to felony charges alleging he had abused Panettiere.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Happy Monday, baby. Little Monday fun day here. So yesterday, I rabble-roused Bell out of his coma, pajamas. Said, come on, dude, we got to do this. We had Jerri Green, who was kind enough to come up, and she's all over the state, but she was in town and did a full interview with her. And so she's running to be governor. She's on the Democratic side. Everybody's like, how would you have a liberal on? I'm going to have everybody on. We're going to have the independent person on. We're going to ask Marsha 1,000 times. She's going to tell us no, or most importantly, ignore anything Bell sends her. Kind of that's what she does.
Yeah, it's her, tough questions. She's not really down with them.
So, and because, I just would I wouldn't hammer. We'd just have a good time, have a conversation. And, she didn't want to do that. So that's fine. But I said, I'm bringing Jerri on, and I found her to be interesting. I think she's very likable. Bell, what'd you think of her?
I thought she was a nice person. She's a Democrat, so some of her ideas I'm just not going to be down with. But as a person, and just with the limited conversation we had, I thought she was nice enough.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I'm not down with a lot of ideas a lot of them have.
Oh, that's true.
So you guys make up your mind. We had a good time. We laughed a bit on whether or not, she'd be interesting even to talk to. And we'll go from there. But enjoy. And I got some of your questions in, by the way. Some of you guys sent me stuff, which is nice. I appreciate that. But this is our conversation with the Democrat candidate for governor, Jerri Green.
received multiple death threats, and the police and my security have asked me to carry one. But I know that you have a right under the Constitution. I've spent my whole career as a public defender upholding the Constitution, whether it's your First Amendment right, your Second Amendment right, your Fourth Amendment right to be free from searches and seizures. I believe in that whole Constitution, and that's what I've spent my career upholding. So I don't have any plans to take anybody's guns away. Do I think there are reasonable measures we could put in place? Absolutely. Look, our gun lock program, we've given out over 2,000 gun locks. It cost me $2 for a gun lock, $5 to mail it anywhere in Shelby County. Before we started it, we could trace 40% of our violent crime back to a gun stolen out of the car, and we were number one in the nation of guns stolen out of cars, because now, under Tennessee law, you can just leave it in your car unlocked. After we got the gun lock program up and running, we saw a 25% reduction in guns stolen out of cars and a nearly identical reduction in our violent crime rate. And our children's hospital, where we see kids who are injured by accidental gunfire because somebody gets a gun and it's not stored properly, we saw it cut in half. We're out there saving lives without taking away anyone's guns, just asking them to be responsible gun owners, because I do believe with every right comes responsibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the other stuff, this was an interesting one. I got this on several occasions. They're like, you're going to interview her. And one of the things that people would say is, I won't vote for her because she's a wolf in sheep's clothing. She's Abigail Spanberger, too. She's going to come in saying, I'm a moderate, and then within 5 minutes, she says, everybody's getting a trans surgery, and everybody's getting that, because, you know, she kind of did go, she swayed away when she kind of got in charge. And I'm like, well, I'm going to ask her, are you a wolf in sheep's clothing?
Look, I will not deny that I'm a Democrat. I will not deny my progressive values. But I'm a mom. That means I'm pretty pragmatic. I want to get stuff done. And I know that I will be still having a supermajority of Republicans in the House and the Senate if I get elected. But I look to Andy Beshear up above us at our northern border, and he too is a Democrat with a supermajority, and it is a system where the checks and balances work, right? They are a check and a balance on each other. And most of the times, if it's jobs, if it's roads, we find common ground. Look, we were talking before this that about legalizing cannabis. 2 Republicans introduced that legislation last year. I would like to work with them on that. There is lots of places we can work together. Are there places where we can't? Sure. But I'll have a veto and they'll have the ability to override a veto, right? That's how this system is supposed to work. There will be feedback. There will be conversations. And we just don't have that right now.
No, we don't. And, that's one of the questions. The supermajority. You know, I moved out here from Phoenix, where we're pretty purple, from Arizona, but I grew up in California. California, it doesn't matter who the governor is, because the reality is the supermajority is so big, they can do whatever they want. And they do. They're a lot more radical than a lot of other places. But there are some pragmatic, conservatives here. How would you work with them, knowing that, yeah, you're not going to agree on everything, but there's going to be some give and take, and you can get stuff done? Because I think a lot of what divides us is algorithms and culture warrior stuff.
Amen.
More than what the average person who's at the dinner table worried about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I could have said it better than what you just said. We absolutely, and we have to work together. Look, we're last in the nation for funding our public schools. That's our future. We are $56 billion behind on our road reconstruction. There's so many places that I think we can find that common ground and work together to make Tennessee better, because right now we are the number one most miserable state to live in. And you just have to ask your friends, whatever, they have a D or an R or an I, whatever behind their name. Are your groceries cheaper? Is your gas cheaper? Is your family farm going bankrupt? Have you had a medical debt that has cost you your home? Like, those are the measures of life, right? And we are at the bottom in all of them. And they have had 100% control, a trifecta control. So I think that we can work on that. We can have give and take, and that will make the system work better. I'm sure there are many places where we'll push and pull, but in my opinion, I think that when you go and you talk to Tennesseans every day, like I do, you will find that most people don't like that their politicians are bought and sold by corporations, that they've redrawn maps where they are gerrymandering things so that they're picking their politicians instead of the voters, being able to actually have a say. And I think that together, if we stand up in this one race, because you can't gerrymander a whole state, then we're going to be able to put pressure back to make life better for everybody, no matter whether you have a D or an R or an I.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Talking to Jerri Green, she is the Democratic candidate for governor. You're out and about every single day shaking hands. The reception you get, do you feel like it's building up?
Yes. So I don't know when this will air, but last night I was here in Nashville, and it's so funny because we were kind of in awe. The first time I came to Nashville, we had 6 people show up to our event. Last night, after a third venue change, because we kept getting more and more RSVPs, we had 400 people at an event, standing room only. And I'll tell you, and I waited in line to shake anybody's hand that wanted to talk to them individually, take pictures, whatever. I had multiple Republicans in that line that said, I'm a Republican, I'm voting for you. And it's for various issues. But yes, I feel like the momentum is huge. The swing has been huge. You found us on social media. That's growing too. Like, yeah, it's really, really growing.
That's awesome. That right there is an interview we did with Jerri Green, Democratic side of the governor's race. We got more of it. We're going to talk a little bit more about it. We've got the weed thing, bunch of other stuff coming up as well. And then later on today, we'll take some of your text messages as we talk about this stuff. But it's important. Look, that we have everybody on. I know there's an independent or two that's going to be out there that we're also going to have on. Like I said, we reach out to Marcia, right? So for all of you, you guys are just a commie, which is my favorite. Somebody said, I bet you'd have she at dinner. Well, yeah, it would. That'd be interesting. Winnie the Pooh? My mother would be stoked.
There's actually been a few people on the text line that have said, she sounds better than Marcia.
Yeah.
That's a real low bar.
Yeah. But
I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, it's if you didn't know what her politics were, as far as the D of the R by her name, you'd be like, I'm interested in this. But because you hear Democrat, you freak out. Just like the people on the left, they hear Republican, they think Nazi.
She could win. Let's just say that something happened, the earth turned sideways, and she won the governor's race. She's still going to be leashed by the General Assembly.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. And she knows that. She knows that. But we got more straight ahead. Chad Men's Show, Super Talk 997.
From Nashville City Hall to Washington and everywhere in between.
And we
Oh, Relief Factor is amazing. I take it every single day. Why is that? Simple. It helps me. Helps me in a major way. Aches and pains in our joints and muscles, most of it's caused by inflammation. And with the Relief Factor, it works from the inside out. And that's what I love about Relief Factor in the way that it tackles inflammation. Naturally formulated, third-party tested for purity and potency. And the beauty of it is, you don't have to worry about it getting addicted to it or any of that stuff. That's what I love about Relief Factor. 1 million customers use Relief Factor. Why not give it a try? If you're sick and tired of being in that just everyday state of just soreness and pain, give Relief Factor a try for $17.76. It's a 3-week quick start. You can get it by going to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800, the number 4RELIEF for Relief Factor.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announces economic D-Day on Iran. Coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
We are playing our interview from yesterday. Jerri Green, kind enough to come down and give us some time. She was trying to hit every place she could, and I'm trying to make sure that Matt and Dan and them have access as well, and Chris come on the show and have conversations. And I know she will, which comparatively to the alternative hasn't happened. And we've asked when it comes to Marcia. We've asked on numerous occasions. Here's more of our interview with Jerri Green from yesterday as she came down here to the studio with us.
Conservatives only wants to represent Christians. I want to represent all of Tennessee and to be a voice for everybody out here. So, no, I am not going to New York City up your Tennessee. It's just not, it's not possible. That's not what I stand for or what we could even do here.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt about that. We did talk about the weed thing, though. So
Yeah,
let's
talk about that. Let's talk
the
about
weed
that.
thing. So I'm a teetotaler. I don't think people realize that. Inked up. I've never had a drink, never done a drug, never tasted alcohol in my entire life. But I think human beings as adults should be allowed to live their life as long as they're not hurting somebody else. That includes, no matter what it is that you're doing, and we have got this bizarre world now where we're going backwards in a lot of states, especially states that like Texas. They're like, we'll vote it in. Oh, now let's take it away. It's, we joke all the time that if you take some weed, you're going to jump into a wood chipper, right? Like that's the big thing. You're going to jump into a wood chipper. It is insane. Vets, people out there who are struggling with all kinds of issues. On top of that, some people that just may want to go home at night and a little wake and bake, whatever, but they're not going anywhere. Why can't we be adults, and what could we do with that money?
Well, right now we're already going to lose. We're on track for about $110 million loss just from the THC ban. Other states that have legalized marijuana for medicinal and recreational uses have seen upwards of 300 million, and we have a better climate for growing it here. We also have farmers, sixth-generation farmers that are going bankrupt, so a cash crop could really help them. The cash could also help us not only rebuild that road infrastructure and help with rural broadband, but it could also help with mental health counseling and substance abuse counseling. Like, there would be enough money to go around. You're right. There are a lot of people that are suffering. PTSD is real. There are chemo patients that need it to be able to get an appetite. There are people who are in an immense amount of pain. And the reason we don't have it, again, is follow the money. It is because of big alcohol and big pharma's lobby. And alcohol has seen an increase since we did the THC ban. But big pharma in particular is very problematic to me. I looked back over the statistics. There have been 50,000 deaths related to alcohol in Tennessee over the last 10 years and 40,000 due to opioids. Marsha Blackburn is almost single-handedly responsible for that. She's had over 500 bills that she sponsored in Congress in her time there, and only 2 have passed. One of them is this opioid bill. And they're one of her biggest contributors still to this day. She takes money from big pharma. Those 2 lobbies are trying to keep weed out because if you don't have it, then you have to go get a drink or you have to go take a pill. And they are the ones who sell those products. They know that it would be detrimental to their industries if we legalize weed. But you know how many deaths we've had because of a marijuana overdose in the last 10 years? Zero.
I mean, we joke about it all the time. Ken, our news guy, Bell, all of us, that, you just watch out because the minute you take one, because we joked about Dan Patrick in his wacky, Texas, his wacky thing where he's throwing out gummies. If you take these, you could stumble into like a wood chipper. And it's insane. And they all say the same thing. Well, it's a gateway drug. And I'm like, no. Nobody smokes a little weed and they're like, the next thing I'm going to do? Fentanyl. It doesn't happen.
No, and fentanyl is actually the one that's causing deaths, and it is legalized because of big pharma. So I, like you, am not somebody who partakes in any form of THC, but I think adults should be adults. I think we could use the tax funds. I think it helps people who are suffering, and I think it helps our farmers. Like every box that I check, and it doesn't kill people. In the meantime.
And it doesn't, which is, let's be real. At the end of the day, that's kind of what it's all about. It doesn't kill people. And that's an important thing. There's just so many, it's so interesting, because, again, having a conversation, because a lot of people out there listening, they're hardcore on the right. But one of the things I've noticed is when we ever ask anybody about, well, would you vote for Marsha? Some of them say, I just won't vote. Some of them say, I'm willing to listen to what Jerri has to say. A lot of them just say, well, I'll vote down ticket or I'll write somebody in. And the ones who do say they would vote for her all say the exact same thing. Well, she's not a Democrat. It's not because she is dazzling and they're voting for it because they want to. It's this fear factor.
Well, and I'll tell you, she didn't get 50% of the Republican vote. I think Republicans are clearly very divided. I spoke to a man this week. He's 86 years old. He's always voted Republican, but he was a John Rose supporter, and he could not bring himself to get behind Marsha Blackburn. So he wanted to have a conversation with me, and I was willing to have that conversation just like we're having here now. And it's like, you seem like a reasonable human that has actual plans and has thought about this and want to just help people out. I hope people will give us the time of day. I know that some people will still vote for her, obviously. I know there are people who may find it independent or sit it out or not vote at the top of the ticket. Those things help me. So I'm going to be frank with you. We're not going to get an independent governor. We haven't had one for over 100 years. But if that's where your heart is, I understand. I just ask that you find the person that you think is most qualified. You find the person that has the most common sense and vote that way.
Right on. Talking to Jerri Green. She is running to be governor from the Democrat side. We're going to talk to her some more because I got about 50 questions, but I'm only going to get a few more in. We'll do that straight ahead right here on Super Talk 99.7. This is our interview we did yesterday with Jerri Green, and we got some interesting stuff coming up about how she could reach across the aisle, things of that nature. It's the interview we did yesterday. Bell was kind enough to come in, and they were kind enough to stop by. And again, we've reached out to everybody. We'll continue to do so as well to all of the people that are running. when it comes to not just the governor race, but everybody. Want to give everybody a voice. This is the Chad Benson Show.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announcing the U.S. is expanding secondary sanctions that the Treasury Department can impose on countries and entities that have business ties with Iran as a way to put further economic pressure on Iran.
Let there be no ambiguity as to the position of the United States. An economic engagement of any kind with this murderous regime will expose those responsible to the full reach of American power.
President Trump plans to impose 50% tariffs on Canadian-made vehicles, auto parts, and steel starting in January, further increasing tensions with our northern neighbor. The move follows a weekend breakdown in trade talks between Canada and the U.S. Analysts warn the tariffs could lead to higher vehicle prices and supply chain costs for American families and businesses. For Canadians, the tariffs could reduce exports, threaten manufacturing jobs, and slow economic growth if the dispute continues. And it's been nearly 2 weeks since severe storms knocked out power to homes and businesses in Gary, Indiana. But thousands of people still without power. Many parts of the community also still dealing with cleanup, and some residents say they don't have the resources to repair their homes. ABC's Alex Perez has more.
The water was pouring in my basement like Niagara Falls.
Felicity Clark has been stuck in her home without power for the last 13 days. 2 trees fell on her home during the storms and flooded her entire house. Her basement now filled with dangerous mold.
We can't even go down there anymore. Like I'm telling the kids, if you have to go down there, put on a mask. So I'm scared for our health.
Shelves at grocery stores in Gary, Indiana have also been stripped bare, and the mayor said he believes not enough power utility workers were staged at the beginning of the storm. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Back pain, you don't want it. Shooting down your leg, you feel it. Next thing you know, like what it could be, sciatic, could be that. Maybe your legs feel heavy, walking difficult, spinal stenosis, tingling, burning, numbness, could be neuropathy, slip herniated disc. We get it. There's all these things that are going on that are bad. That's why you need the Wellness Institute in Nashville. At the Wellness, Dr. Mitchell's amazing. And right now, August, 50% off. They specialize in non-surgical spinal decompression, personalized treatment plans designed to relieve your pressure on the spine, reduce pain, help you get back to doing the things you love. So it's 50% off right now, which is awesome. It's never a better time to take care of it. So you bring in your MRI. They're going to show you what's wrong and what's going on in your back, and they're going to help you get back to living the best life, a personalized plan for you. They're going to explain the results and make sure that you understand what's going on so it makes sense. So don't settle at all for masking the pain. Find out what's really causing it. Call 615-246-5009, 615-246-5009, or visit painisbad.com, painisbad.com for the Wellness Institute in Nashville, helping Nashville move better, feel better, and live with less pain.
any fees. That is huge. Now, one local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 every single month. Now, it gets even better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, and no long drawn-out process either. Also, no closing costs. You may even be able to skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto right now and leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks. And again, without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com is the website. 615-499-5780. 615-499-5780. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 166-1781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Yesterday, we had Jerri Green come in. She's running to be governor from the great state of Tennessee. She wants to be a governor. She's a Democrat. Many of you, she's a raging liberal commie. I love some of that. It's insane. But she was kind enough to come in. And again, we've asked everybody. We make time for anybody. If Marcia says to me, Chad, I can only do it between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., we'll show up. We'll wake Bell up and we'll get his ass in here. We're willing to do that for anybody. Doesn't matter. She came in yesterday. We did the interview. This is the last portion of our interview with Jerri Green from yesterday. All right, we're back. Jerri Green's with us, Democratic candidate for governor running against Marsha Blackburn. When you looked at the Republicans and the way they ran, one thing that was certain, there was a lot of people listening to this station, that old Monty Fritz made some noise with no dollars. His return on investment compared to John Rose and Marsha was tremendous. Did you take something away from the fact that there's a divide right now in the Republican Party, but also there's a grassroots opportunity?
Absolutely. I mean, I think Monty and I both, raised around the same per vote compared to Marsha and to John Rose. And I can't write myself $13 million check. I'm just a public servant, so that's not in my ability. But what I can tell you about my campaign is 95% of my campaign contributions come from within our state. My average contribution is still under $50. I have contributions from all 95 counties. We are proud of the grassroots campaign that we have built. And in the last quarter, I not only outraised all the Democrats that I was running against, I also outraised John Rose and Monty Fritz in the individual contributions. To me, that means we're growing. We're growing. And it's not people that can give everything. I don't have like $10,000 donors. That's not who my base is. I'm not holding a dinner in Georgia charging people $10,000 a plate. I have people. Have
you thought about that?
I have not, because I'm running in Tennessee for Tennessee. And I won't be bought and sold. I mean, I think at this point, Marsha Blackburn should just wear like a NASCAR outfit with all her sponsors. Over 70% of our contributions come from outside of the state, and most of them are major donors. That means they give more than $10,000. That means she's bought and sold. She's not going to have to listen to you. She didn't have to talk to Tennesseans every day because she only has to listen to the corporate sponsors of hers. But I think that is important, that we're building that grassroots campaign, and that is why people are joining us no matter of the party affiliation.
Yeah. I mean, look, the corporate side of stuff, I mean, we joked that, I don't know, who was it, John Rose that did the commercial where they called her the farmer mama?
Yeah.
One of those.
She didn't like that.
No, she didn't like that. And I thought, because I think it is true. I think across the country, we're missing that. We've gotten such this corporatism when it comes to capitalism anymore. It is what happened to the average person being able to run for something. That's the one thing about, we had Ditch on. He was funny. He's like, look, because I leaned a little bit more left, but I'm just kind of here because I want to show anybody can run for these things, and we should all be out there doing this. And I think we need more of that, because I look at Marsha and I said, great for your service. Thanks for the stuff you've done. But have you gotten to the point where you've been in D.C. so long that you forgot this is a much different kind of world?
Well, I would push back and say, what has she done? What has she done for Tennessee? She is touting the fact that in 1999, she put an end to the income tax. That was 27 years ago. What have you done since? She also is pushing right now for a statewide property tax to be banned. That hasn't been collected since 1949, 77 years ago. Like, she's saying, bell to bell, no sell. That's already a policy.
And let's not forget about the Chinese.
Well, and I asked people, again, I was in front of 400 people last night, and I said, please raise your hand if your number one issue is China. And nobody raised their hand. It's not reality. But that's the talking points she's been told to push. I don't know, somebody on her campaign told her crumbling up fortune cookies was a good idea. So she's not listening to us, and she's not performing for us. Can I tell you what I did last Tuesday? So I still sit on city council, right? The first thing we did was pass the first reading of a data center moratorium because we are going to rein in any more coming into Memphis without regulations. The second thing I did was I took $159,000. They give council people $200,000 a year in grants. I don't like the program. I've tried to end it. I can't get my council people to buy into it, but I shouldn't be a philanthropist on your dollar. Regardless, I have this money, and so I worked with a group called Undue Medical Debt. They would only take $159,000 of it. That helped us pay off $17 million in debt for over 12,000 Memphians, and they don't have to apply. They already have the debt. They're just going to get a letter in the mail, and it's going to be erased. It's going to be life-changing for these people. That's what I do on a Tuesday night. That's how many people I try to help. That's how I try to give back. I don't know what Marsha can say in her past 15 years she has done for Tennesseans. And, a lot of people will try to make this about age with us, and I hate it. It shouldn't be about age. There are plenty of people who are older that are great, wonderful mentors, contributors, but it should be about old ideas and new ideas. And her idea is, I'll just listen to the people that line my pockets and skate through. She thinks she's owed this seat. She thinks that she doesn't even have to run. That's why she's not talking to anybody. I've had over 150 stops across this state already. I talk to press anytime I get a chance, whether it's radio, TV, because that's the job. This is a job interview. She won't stand up and debate me. You deserve, as a voter, to have us stand next to each other and say what our policies are, say what our plans are, and you should be insulted if they won't. Look, I know there's going to be people out there that are your listeners that are going to see a D behind my name and never vote for me. But I'm going to ask you, what has Marsha Blackburn done for you? What is she planning to do for you?
Yeah. No, that right there is a great question. I question that. A lot of politicians, you guys aren't magicians. I always say this, you know what? They're not going to keep every promise because the reality is it's just not the nature of the business. Number one thing, you go out, talk to people across the board. Because when we were talking to, I think it was Garrett, Johnny Garrett, and them talking about number one thing he's hearing is affordability. Are you getting the same thing? Is affordability the question?
People cry in my arms every day because they are just trying to make ends meet. And it is so hard out there. You can continue to tell me that groceries are going down or that gas isn't that high, and we all know the difference. People get sick and they go to the hospital and they're bankrupted. So people are really struggling. I met a woman in the mountains in East Tennessee. She has a college degree, but she is driving for a pizza place 6 days a week because that's the only job she can find. And she is now taking her tips to the homeless man that is at the gas station in their little town because he was using clothes for shoes. I just think Tennessee can do better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is a big pet peeve of mine, but I'm going to ask it. What's up with the potholes? All right? Because number one thing, what the study that was done years ago is if you can't fix the potholes and you can't keep the garbage off the road, you can't govern. You can't run a city. You can't run anything. Potholes drive me crazy.
Look, same. Mostly because I'm on city council and nobody tells you when you get on city council, you're like, I'm going to pay off medical debt. I'm going to help people. I'm going to stop data centers. And they're like, yeah, but my trash hasn't been picked up and this pothole just took out my tire. That I actually have to deal with that weekly. And I keep a log. I produce a newsletter every 6 months of all of the constituent calls I get, and we have an over 90% answer rate. So that means when I get a call about a pothole, I get it filled. When I get a call about trash that needs to be picked up, I get it filled. In fact, it's really funny. Senator Brent Taylor, who's a Republican, he and our districts overlap, and he often calls me, there's graffiti on this overpass or, all kinds of things. There's a burnt out car on the side of the road. And before he got into his race and started supporting Marsha, he would post things on his social media. It's like, I called Jerri Green and it's been taken care of. I called Jerri Green, it's been taken care of. Because we're here to do the work. But I've actually had to be doing that work for the last half decade, both as city council and as deputy chief of staff to the county mayor. Those are the things that I actually have to do every day. I would love to know the last time Marsha Blackburn answered a constituent email or letter or call, because I hear about it all the time. When I'm out on the road, I've been trying to get my veterans benefits. I've been trying to get my SSI. I've been reaching out to her office, and all I get is a canned email and no response. She's not answering or listening to constituents because she doesn't think she has to. She thinks because that she has that R behind her name, she's going to get your vote anyway. I think that's wrong. You should have politicians that work for you, and if they aren't working for you, vote them out.
Oh, yeah, I 100% agree on the vote them out. And I always say this: I'm a free agent. Every time, you never fall in love, fall in like. Make people work for you. The whole goal is you're working for you. I don't expect a miracle. I expect effort and some honesty, a little transparency. One of the things we started talking about was flock cameras. Like, that's another big thing. Flock cameras, I think the right and the left, two things that the right and left have kind of come together for. Data centers and flock cameras, that seems to, they shed the R and the D, and they're like, whoa, uncomfortable with this, and no way on the flock cameras.
Well, and my opponent is for them. Look, I want to acknowledge when I say this that there is a place for cameras. Like, I'm from Memphis. We would not know about the horrible death of Tyree Nichols if it was not for cameras. Certainly as a public defender, there's been body camera footage that have shown people overstepping our clients' constitutional rights. There is a place for cameras. This unlimited surveillance and this unlimited storage and this unknown sharing of all of your information is just blatantly unconstitutional. Like, we have a Fourth Amendment, and I'm just going to tell you, as a Georgetown lawyer, as somebody who's been practicing criminal law for years, it's unconstitutional. And we have a right and an expectation to privacy. We are owed that in our country. And so the idea, we often do this. It's same with data centers. We let the technology get ahead of us, and then we have to claw it back. We have to claw our rights back. And we're in that space right now. And so I'm hopeful that's one of the things that, once I get elected, we can work across the aisles on and pull this back in.
See, like, the data centers are one of those weird things where it's not a competition even for billionaires. There's a true race of AI war going on between us and China. There's no doubt about that. Data centers are important. I think the missing part of the data centers is it's a nameless, faceless data center, DC Blocks, whoever it is. They buy something, they try to throw it up. Nobody comes in here to go, look, I want to make sure that you guys understand what's going on. This is how it's going to work. And rather than a partnership, it feels like billionaires are just rolling in and going, you're just going to take it.
Because that's what they're doing. In fact, I was just having this conversation with a fellow council member. He's a Republican. I'm a Democrat. And we were just today talking about our frustration over the fact, because this is, become another hot button issue in Memphis again, and they don't understand why we're putting in a moratorium. And it's because they're not just not talking to the public, they're not talking to the council members either. I know people think I have a secret bat phone, and people are like, well, why did you vote that data center in? I didn't. They were under the zoning laws as they're supposed to be. They bought property, and they came in. I found out in their press release, just like you did. Right? But you're right. They're coming in and they're saying, oh, this is an environment that's rich for me to take advantage of. I mean, since Elon Musk has built XAI in Memphis, he's now a trillionaire. You can't even really fathom how much money that is. And he's taking advantage of a part of our city that has been historically put upon with environmental concerns. And now they're facing them again. At what benefit to the community? None. Like, there isn't you can't balance air and water, clean air and clean water. Those should be things that we are absolutely standing tall on and making sure that we don't let billionaires buy away from us. But yeah, you're right. The community conversation never happens. They don't think they have to have that conversation. It's just like Marsha Blackburn. They think they can just do it. They can just buy their way in.
Well, and they're doing it in a lot of places. There's no doubt. It's crazy. It is. And I was telling you, how the people, the gold rush got rich. It wasn't the people looking for the gold. It was the people selling everybody the stuff to get the gold. And that's kind of what it feels like with this. If you talk to people out there and give them a snapshot, you got about a minute and a half here of just kind of, hey, who you are and what you're looking to represent. Just kind of, your elevator pitch to a lot of people that are listening who are Republicans, they're MAGA, they're never for the D voters, but you got a lot of them out there that are listening that aren't going to vote for Marsha and are looking for something else. What would be that pitch to them?
I would say I hope one, that you listen with an open mind, because I'm a fighter. And I think this moment right now in Tennessee, in our country, requires a fighter. I'm going to fight to make life more affordable. I'm going to fight to make healthcare work instead of harm us. I'm going to fight for our children's future. And I'm going to fight to make sure the fall of democracy doesn't start in Tennessee. Those are the things that I am fighting for. And I am fighting to end Marsha Blackburn's career for forever. So if that's your thing, that's your thing too. But I think right now we need someone with courage and backbone. And I hope that I can be that person for Tennessee.
Awesome. I appreciate you coming in today. You guys took a Sunday. You're out and about doing stuff. We got to have it because I was like, I want to talk to everybody. Like I said, we've asked Marsha to come on 500 times and, she just ignores. So, but we put it out there for her and we appreciate you coming on today.
Of course. Thank you.
Coming up, we got news with Ken and we got some of your text message stuff on the other side. Bulwark Capital is awesome. I'm telling you guys right now, the best thing you can do for yourself when you think about your investments, your retirements, talk to my friends at Bulwark. Absolutely free. They are up tremendously because of the way they diversify. It's all about risk management, lower risk, lower costs, lower, the volatility that's going on out there. What can you do to protect yourself? Is the AI bubble ready to pop? Are you over leveraged in certain areas? Or maybe for where you are in your life and your retirement, maybe you're in positions where you're never going to get to where you want to go. Have my friends give you a second opinion at Bulwark Capital. It is absolutely free to you. It's not going to cost you anything, but a little bit of time. You can sign up for their Know Your Risk portfolio review today by going to knowyourriskpodcast.com, KNOW, yourriskpodcast.com, to talk to my friends over there at Bulwark Capital Management.
Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 26112.
This is Dr. Foley, Advanced Clinical Nutritionist DC. I've helped many people overcome thyroid issues naturally using the correct blood test and the right nutrition.
For a limited time, get your functional thyroid exam and blood test only $69. Call 615-333-0021.
Preparing to sell your home can be costly and time-consuming. Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Hi, it's Dan Mandis, and I'm here with my friend Mark of Mark Spain. Mark, can you explain why the guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home?
Well, selling your home through a traditional way is very stressful because you have costly repairs, you have appraisals, you have a lot of things that add stress to an already stressful situation. With the guaranteed offer, there are no repairs, there's no showings, there's no lot boxes. It's real simple. We bring you a strong cash offer. You can close in as little as 21 days and move when you want to on your time.
Thanks to Mark Spain Real Estate, you can skip the hassle of a traditional home sale, make the most money, and move when you're ready with their guaranteed all-cash offer. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. Start packing.
Sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Tired of overpriced blinds? Blindster makes custom blinds simple and affordable. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big. No retail store markups, just custom blinds guaranteed to fit. Blindster.com.
I'm Rocky McElhaney. I built my law firm of gladiators in suits to fight for people like you. If you're ready to fight back, call up.
615-425-2500 or visit rockylawfirm.com. Rocky McElhaney Law Firm. We fight for you.
In the market for a new home, you may have questions. What loan is right for you? What neighborhood should you look for? How important is purchasing power and how to stay competitive in today's housing environment? I'm Tanya Escabel. Tune into my show every Saturday at noon to hear answers to these questions and more right here on Super Talk.
WWTN, Hendersonville, Nashville.
From the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studio, Super Talk 99.7.
WTN. Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announcing the U.S. is expanding secondary sanctions that the Treasury Department can impose on countries and entities that have business ties with Iran as a way to put further economic pressure on the regime.
We know who they are. They know who they are. So when the hammer of U.S. Treasury actions falls upon them, they will have no one to blame but themselves.
We don't have the details of what the timeline is. That has not been released publicly. The trade war between the United States and Canada appears set to intensify, with President Trump announcing new 50% tariffs on Canadian cars and steel effective January 1st. Canada's pledged to respond with matching measures after recent trade negotiations failed. U.S. consumers may feel the impact through higher prices on automobiles and products tied to steel production. Canadian consumers could face the effects of a weaker export market, potential job loss, and higher costs from retaliatory tariffs on U.S. imports. And does this sound familiar? It's been nearly 2 weeks since severe storms knocked out power to homes and businesses in Gary, Indiana, but thousands of people still without power. And the mayor there, Eddie Melton, said he believes not enough power utility workers were staged at the beginning of the storm.
It's unacceptable. We've communicated that to our utility company. We've had to create an emergency shelter. We've been providing food for residents.
Shelves at grocery stores in Gary, Indiana have also been stripped bare. And a California man who was rescued after being stranded at sea for 16 hours. Speaking out, Paul Carbolito was jet skiing off Long Beach when a wave knocked him into the water. Then he drifted miles from shore.
I was calling for help, praying to God. I was just doing everything, you know. I didn't want to give up because I keep getting splashed. I was like, where are these waves coming from?
Well, Coast Guard helicopter spotted him the next day and hoisted him to safety. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Oh, happy Monday.
Ken walks and grinning, Chad says let's go. Belle sees the calendar and moves real slow.
Ken says best day.
Chad says no blues.
Belle says not again.
And stares at his shoes.
Ken and Chad love Mondays.
They love Mondays.
Yes, we do. The band is all back together.
Best freaking day of the week. Go on, have a great day because Monday, it's the best day of the freaking week.
You sound like Rodney. I got a good Rodney coming up because we burned through last hour with our interview with Jerry. It is the best day of the week. Exciting. In fact, Belle and I had to practice yesterday by coming in and doing an interview.
Yeah, you guys did some hard practice.
Yeah, we did. Well, we came in. I even put shorts on.
Dang.
I had to get dressed.
A button down on.
Huh?
I had a button down on.
You did. You looked the part, too. Went over. We came over. We stretched and everything. We were doing jumping jacks, getting the blood flowing.
That's the way to go, Brother Bilal.
Belle came. It's we had to do it. And we do, man. And we do, baby. That's what we do here.
Oh, I wasn't doing jumping jacks. I was eating fried ice cream.
He did. He had fried ice cream. I'm like, hey, Belle, don't worry, man. I got your lunch for coming in. He's like, all right. He's like, I'll take what? He was like, I'm going to get just some water. I'm paying. Oh, and by the way, give me fajitas. Yeah. Make him steak. I'll take, I'm going to get some stuff to go as well. You guys want anything? Put it on the check. We're good. We're good. We're good.
And I volunteered to get the bill for the people next door, sitting next to us.
It's just so funny. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Appreciate you guys. Like some of you guys. Yeah. Why are you so nice to her and you're mean? I've never been. When was I mean to Monty or John Rose or Sapicki or anybody? I'm not. We have conversations. If you want screaming and yelling, watch CNN. Watch whoever. Right?
I think some people think if you're not doing an interview full of gotcha questions, then you're not being hardball.
But it's not. That's not an interview. If I wanted that, what I could have done is asked 25 questions and then chopped it up any way I wanted. And going from there. That's easy to do. That's not who we are. My goal, and by the way, I never tell you who to vote for. I don't care who you vote for. I don't. I want to have a conversation. You guys, half of you, I hate the D. They're the worst of all time. They're all evil. They're trans demons, one person said to me earlier, which is okay. I don't know what that means. That's the way you feel. Wouldn't have mattered what she said. She could have said the Democrats are the worst people alive. And you know what he said? She's a wolf in sheep's clothing. So none of it matters. None of it does at that point in time. So make your decision. But I'm surprised, though. We got a lot of people like, you know what? She sounds reasonable. And, Marcia's, again, we've asked her on. And we will continue to ask her on. We'll ask them all on. And I'm not going to yell at Marcia. But it doesn't matter how nice I am to Marcia because I would have been nicer to the Democrat. You're nice to Afton. Yeah, because Afton's nice.
Afton comes in with a smile on her face and she doesn't have a bad attitude, isn't in here trying to, she's not giving us anything that requires us to be mean to her.
No. And Sapicki comes in. He's great. I love him. He's nice. It's fun. Some of the other guys are stiff, but, we try to have conversations, but they're just a little stiff. But I can't help that. It's nothing to do with being nice. It's just about the fact that they're kind of stiff.
Not every politician takes media training.
No, they don't. That should be like the first thing you do for a couple of weeks, right? Like, all right, here's the way this is going to work. People are going to ask you questions. And then, how would you, because sometimes it is uncomfortable. It's like when you go to shake somebody's hand, you put out your hand and they put out the wrong hand. Then you move the other hand, but then they put the other one out and then you don't know what to do. That's a lot of what politics becomes, which is a shame. Absolute shame. Again, so, like her, don't like her, that's up to you. My thing is, you had a chance to listen to her. None of you would have otherwise, for the most part. Why not have all takes? And we're supposed to do that, right? Like if I'm not giving you everything, if I'm not giving you the opposite side of whatever it is you believe, because shouldn't you want that?
No, I just want my feelings validated.
How would I validate your feelings? Was it with the Amish girls? By the way,
that helped. That definitely helped.
A lot of Amish love going on for Belle, Ken, on the text line. A lot of people
absolutely.
Yeah. You should really start thinking about that, dude. I mean, it's great.
It's great.
I was thinking. I'll tell you what. If I was single, I'd be all over Amish Twitter. Amish Tinder.
Tony the Tiger of the Amish.
I'd be
It's
swiping.
great.
I'd be swiping right with the Amish Tinder. Look at her. Whoa.
There would be no swiping right on the Amish Tinder because they can't use cell phones.
No, what they do is their families take pictures or whatever, and what happens is the ones are on Runchbrook, and then they put them all over that. God. It's the way that works. And then, then you send them a letter, and you got to dip in ink and write it with a feather.
I'm fine with anybody believing what they want to believe, but it has got to be sometimes just difficult to get through the process of being an Amish person because there seems to be so many rules.
Dear Ruth, it is I, Josiah. I would like to come to your house and climb in your bed between 9 and 4.
And not tell your parents.
And whatever you do not tell mom and dad. And maybe if things work out, but then they're going to think you're a player. They're like, watch out for Bell. He's a player pimp.
Tell them not to even look at me.
Yeah.
Hey, pimping ain't easy. It's like poping.
So, no, it isn't. It isn't. Poping ain't easy, man. We figured that out a long time ago. Absolutely figured that out a long time ago. Sandra says, are you saying people have to be silly and like you to be taken seriously? Did I say that?
Yeah, verbatim, I think.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you said.
No. It's so. Oh, just. It's hard. So. She was easy to listen to, said some people. Look, vote for Marcia, don't. Most of you are going to vote for Marcia. And you know what? Marcia could look you guys in the face and tell you to F off, and you'd still vote for her.
She's, you may not like her, and you may have done nothing more than have your beliefs reinforced after listening to her, but at least you got to hear what she had to say and make a choice based on actual content versus assumptions.
Yes. Again, anybody out there, people could, if your goal is I only vote one side, I will never listen to the other side. Well, why then should I ever, if I'm on that side, if I'm a Republican, if I'm Marcia, why should I give a rat's ass what you think about me if I know you're going to vote for me? I could treat you like crap. I could do anything. I could lie to you. And it wouldn't matter. On the left, they got the same thing out in California and in New York. Why would those people ever go into the inner cities or anywhere else and say, I've already got your vote, right? I got your vote, so what do I care? I can tell you anything you want to hear, and I can go against it because you're never going to hold me accountable. And if you don't hold me accountable, like with kids, they're going to run all over you. And they do.
She could just surprisingly win the election out of the blue, and she's still not going to be able to just run rampant because there is a General Assembly that's going to have her leashed.
Yeah, so that's a big thing right there. She could. But she talks about Andy Bashir next door. Because so much of what divides us is algorithms and anger on cultural issues. That's like the thing. Because it's great for online industry. It is. That's why I only watch funny, cat videos. I send Ken some too.
Pigs and turtles.
Pigs and turtles, man. I love that. I watched the other day, I watched the tortoise and the hare. It was a race, and the tortoise just kind of slowly walked, and the hare just stood there. The rabbit just looked around and didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And the hare won.
The hare lost. Expend any energy.
Well, yeah, because it's very busy. Very busy, man, when you're like that. So, but I will have anybody on, and I'll talk to anybody. I don't care who they are. We had Ditch on. I like the Ditch. Saw Ditch playing music the other day on one of these things when they were talking about people that have run. And Ditch was out there doing his thing. You weren't here, Bell, but Ken didn't go to the Foo Fighters, which sucked. But last night, did you guys see all the people that were walking out of Guns N' Roses? And was it Vince Neil saying how awful they are?
Vince doesn't have a lot of room to talk.
No, Vince, people are like, he's canceled the rest of his tour. And everybody said that Axl Rose sounded like not even the band sounded great. He sounds awful.
Well, it's always the voice that's going to be the first thing to go usually. And he's 64?
Yeah. Well, he's probably 104.
Axl?
By his voice? And in fact,
I'm just saying, you can't expect your instrument to outlast you when you're a singer.
Some do, though.
Yeah, but it's rare. It's a rare occasion. And, they're touring because they're making a lot of money doing it.
Yeah.
And, this is their job. This is what they enjoy doing for a living. This is how they've made their bones. So they don't want to stop.
No, they don't want to stop. They worry if they're going to stop, that something might happen. They're going to die. Right? Isn't that a lot of what happens with people? Like, what am I going to do?
People die?
No, people think that once they stop doing whatever it is they're doing.
That's not necessarily untrue because it's, working gives you a sense of purpose. And especially when you're doing a job like that, where thousands upon thousands of people are, screaming at you and telling you how great you are. The ego is going to be stroked.
So Guns N' Roses played Nashville last night?
No, they played, I don't know where they played, but some people were coming out. They're going on now and they're singing. And he sounds awful. The band sounds great. Slash is doing his thing. But people are like, I paid $1,000 for these tickets and it's the worst concert I've ever seen. Because he can sing some of the slow stuff, but the Welcome to the Jungle was awful. It wasn't even that good. And I'm a pretty good singer.
Yeah, and he's one of those singers that's so unique because he has such a range and such different sounds in his ranges.
Yeah.
That you just look at him as almost like what's it called when you stand out alone? I can't remember the damn phrase, but anyway, he's a very unique singer. He doesn't sound like anybody else.
No, he is definitely. It's when you hear him, you know exactly who it is, or when you heard what it is. But it's like you said though, because what he does with his voice, there is that scream part of it.
Yep,
that tears your voice up, and
like Welcome to the Jungle, and then he has the other side of the coin, which is patience.
Yeah, but at the same time, also I'm sure living hard, as he has maybe in the past.
Yeah.
The good news is they're not late. As they got older, they realized, okay, we're going to do the concert at 4 p.m.
Yeah, that's something that, because he was such a miserable bastard about it. When he was touring behind the Illusion Records, it was basically, we'll go on when I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, and
he wasn't ready until 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, that whole thing in
sometimes.
Montreal, remember that?
Yeah.
That was insane.
Where that was actually when James got burned by the pyro and Metallica had to cut their set short. I think that was the show.
That was awful.
And instead of Guns N' Roses coming out and being heroes of the day, they, started a riot.
As you do. Speaking of a riot, not a riot, he is our man. He's our myth. He's Rodney. Rodney delivers the wisdom that we all love, and he will do that straight ahead because we didn't have a chance to do it last hour. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. Incogni, INCOGNI. It's important that you protect yourself when it comes to things like your data. Many people don't. And the data brokers out there, they get that, and it's so easy for them to do anything they want. They can sell it to anybody, and by anybody, criminals, things of that nature. So they've gotten me off 367 different data broker sites and people search sites. They're working on 63 other ones. And on top of that, they've saved me 275 hours if I was to do it by myself. That's what Incogni's done to save me time. No more wacky, crazy spam calls and text messages and phishing emails. They've got me covered in a major way, and that's what they'll do for you. Protect your data and do it with Incogni. INCOGNI. Save 60%. It doesn't cost a lot. You need to take control of your data. It's a smart thing to do in today's world of scammers and people looking to do things to you. Go to incogni.com/Benson and save 60% right there. Incogni.com/Benson. INCOGNI.com/Benson.
The Trump administration releases what it calls economic D-Day on Iran and countries that do business with Iran. We'll tell you about it at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, it's about time. Let's go after those. Heard Luxembourg were coming for you. Or
Why have we gone for so long without sanctioning them? I don't understand that.
Who, Iran?
Yeah.
Oh, we've sanctioned them. These are
We
now
have?
they're the second or third most sanctioned country on earth.
That surprises me. I didn't know that existed.
Yes, I know. We just like boom. The issue now is we're going to go after anybody who does business with them. So, China, we're going to go after China.
Russia, which we've probably actually
they're the most sanctioned nation on earth.
Russia is.
Yep.
Well, there's India and Turkey too.
Yeah. And do you think that any of them are going to look at us and go, "Oh, sure, guys"? No. India. Hey, we got 1.5 billion people. We need to make sure that we've got all the, energy we have. So we're going to.
These guys want to eat.
Yeah. So do we really going to go after that? We'll see. We'll find out.
India's who you got to keep your eye on.
Yeah. And the more that we become adversarial to them, are they going to start to go, you know what? Let's talk to China more. Because they became little buddies last year. Remember that? Walking around, old Modi and G. Old Modi and G. Speaking of awesomeness, nothing's more awesome than our motivational speaker, Rodney. And this one is for all of us cool people.
This video is only for the very select and elect few. And it is for people who are pretty super freaking awesome. And if you don't think you're pretty super freaking awesome, it's probably because you're a humble person and you're not full of yourself, which makes you pretty super freaking awesome. So congratulations for being pretty super freaking awesome. Okay, take good care of yourself, you pretty super freaking awesome human personage and stuff.
Personage.
Anything in life forms that may be watching this. Bye.
He's just so funny. Because the message is just, it's really, really good. It's very positive, but he can't spit it out to save his life.
If you're super freaking awesome.
And it's the way he looks.
Yeah. He looks like he sounds. His hair looks like he sounds. Are you super freaking awesome? You guys super freaking awesome? If you don't think you are, it's probably because you're so humble. That's why. Humanage. What is humanage? I love him. He's so awesome.
Then he starts being inspirational for the aliens too.
Well, yeah, just in case. What if the aliens want to come here? Are they going to be super freaking awesome? You know what I found out the other day? We as a globe do not have one uniform way to handle aliens. It's basically to each their own. So if they land in Lagos, Nigeria, they got to figure out how to do it for themselves. And if they land in Vermont, we got to figure it out. If they land in Russia, they got to figure it out. There's not one uniform way to go, hey, maybe we should all maybe the superpower should have a conversation about that.
They probably have behind the scenes, but let's face it, if they did anything overtly, it would be like, you people are crazy.
Yeah. I think they took one look at our politics and go, you know what, let's just leave them alone for a little while. They're nuts. Let's get the Rodney guy. How great would it be? What if you were an alien and you're like, what did you find down there? Oh, wait till you guys find it. We got this guy. His name is Rodney. I know it's a weird name, but we think you guys are going to like him.
We were going to invade, but now that we've met him, it's like we want to help him out.
Because he said we were super freaking awesome. We got to get some shirts. We got to get some Rodney super freaking awesome shirts. I think that'd be awesome.
That would be great.
That would be great. Because he also has Rodney 2028.
We got a whole list backed up of stuff we need to put up.
Yeah. Well, but first things first. We got to
do Mandels. We got to do my Pope and Names.
Well, we've already got the tuna boat, boys. Remember?
Yeah.
I just
you haven't put it together.
I'm negotiating that. Got my best people on.
Got to get your tie ready. I've been working on my tie. Because remember, Ken's got to have a nice tie. These people are very much into ties.
Yeah, they didn't like the striped one I had.
No, they're not super freaking awesome. I'll tell you that right now.
No, they're not.
And we are super freaking awesome. Speaking of that, a lot of stuff still to talk to. Some of your text messages about our interview with Jerri Green. We'll post that. You guys can listen to it at will. Like it, hate it. A lot of you are worried about the culture war issues. It's very important to some people out there.
The interview's already posted.
There you go. Interview's already posted. That's why we took him to lunch yesterday. We feed him. I find out if I feed him, he does all right. I feed him. I even gave him a ding dong last week. And he's like, I'm not going to eat it. 2 weeks ago, I'm not going to eat it. I'm like, what'd you do with the old hostess ding dong thing I gave you? He's like, I ate it.
And I blame you for it.
That's it. I didn't bring you one today, though. I didn't.
It's because you were smart.
Well, I know that you're watching your figure.
I'm watching it expand.
Well, wait till the Amish get a hold of you, dude.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, the curds and ways you're going to eat. It's going to be tremendous. Coming up, I got some of your text message, a bunch of other stuff, including the humanoid robot games in China. If you haven't seen this, it's scary. It is scary. Chad Benso, Super Talk 99.7.
2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Folks, we've got a crash at the downtown split. That's going to be 40 eastbound right there, exit 211 right there. That's where 40 and 24 come together or split, depending on which way you're going. Trump administration says they're launching a series of secondary sanctions for countries they say do business with Iran. According to Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, the U.S. is widening its scope and says President Trump is spearheading conversations with different nations.
We are spreading out across the world as we speak, that you will see a wave of sanctions when you leave this meeting today, and you should expect that cadence to continue. And I would expect that you will see a major announcement of a financial institution being sanctioned by the end of this week.
Bessent wouldn't mention which countries the president was talking to, nor would he give many specifics on the timeline. Global reaction to the U.S. economic D-Day sanctions deeply divided. China criticized the move, signaled it would protect its economic interests, while countries with trade ties to Iran are evaluating their exposure to these new U.S. penalties. Iran condemned the sanctions, warned that nations supporting the campaign could face consequences. And businesses and financial institutions worldwide are closely reviewing Iran-related transactions to avoid being targeted by these secondary sanctions. President Trump says he'll impose new 50% tariffs on Canadian cars, auto parts, and steel starting January 1st. After trade talks with Canada broke down, the move could mean higher vehicle prices for American consumers, but job losses in Canada. And nearly 50 people have been arrested in a major federal and local crackdown on illegal guns and drug trafficking here in Nashville. Authorities say 44 suspects were indicted as part of Operation Last Call, a joint effort involving federal agencies and Metro Police. Investigators focused on high crime areas identified through a 3-year review of shootings, shots fired calls, and ballistic evidence. Officials say the operation led to the seizure of more than 160 firearms, methamphetamine, fentanyl, cocaine, and crack cocaine. That's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Kids are heading back to school. It's time to make sure your home is ready to. And right now, Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is helping you save big with their biggest back-to-school offers of the season. So when you go and you schedule an HVAC maintenance or complete HVAC repair, you're going to get a free dryer vent cleaning, minimum $500 HVAC repairs to qualify. Top of that, if you're thinking about a new system, purchase high-efficiency HVAC unit, you're going to get entered in to win the Busy Bees Healthy Hive giveaway. Now, this is a $1,500 sponsorship for a local school of your choice, which is incredible if you know how much teachers are spending. This is a great way to help a school out. Plus, qualified teachers, faculty, and staff can receive free Beehive membership when a customer purchases or renews one and gifts it to them. And if you've got issues with plumbing, they got you covered. A $500 gift card with qualifying whole home repipes or mainline replacements. And if you've got, if you're thinking, I don't know if I can afford some of this stuff, but I need it, with approved credit, 0% financing for 18 months. Call Busy Bee today. Take advantage of these great offers. 775-7833. That's 775-7833. Or online at busybhvac.com. Relief Factor. You want it because you need it, like me. Get a little bit older, longer in the tooth, don't always eat great. Next thing you know, inflammation. A lot of that's caused by the food we eat. And as we just get older, life happens, right? Everything's a little bit more sore, if you will. And that's why Relief Factor. I take it every single day. One of my listeners, Doug's, finally got his wife to take it, and she'd been struggling, and she thought about retiring, and she's a special needs teacher because she was just too much for her. She starts taking it, boom. She feels a lot better, to the point where she went from thinking she was going to have to retire to keeping her job that she loves. That's what's awesome about Relief Factor. Naturally formulated, third-party tested, and it's non-addictive because it's just awesome. Try it, okay? It works from the inside out, doesn't mask the pain. I think you'll feel the difference when it comes to the aches and pains of your joint from inflammation. Try Relief Factor now. Get a 3-week quick start, $17.76, $17.76. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 800-4RELIEF, 800 the number 4RELIEF for Relief Factor. A lot of you are wondering what Rodney looks like. People out there. Whatever you think he looks like, you're probably right.
Jim from Taxi.
Jim from Taxi.
Yep, but with a lot more hair.
Sally pegged it.
Hello, Alex. I loved him. God, the Taxi when he was going to go on a date. What was the red hair? Mary
Lou Henner?
Yeah, what was her name on that?
I can't remember.
He was going to take her on a date, shows up in a tuxedo, and he shows up the night before, and he goes, I'll just wait, like.
I'll sit out here on the stoop.
And they go on the date, and it's at this smancy, fancy, place, and it's like a fundraiser or something, and the pianist doesn't show up, and he gets up there, and he goes, I know how to play the piano, and he starts playing Mary Has a Little Lamb, and she's just totally embarrassed, and he goes, and then he screws that up, and he goes, I'll screw it, and he cracks his knuckles, he's all, and he just goes, and he's amazing, and he stops, and he's got a DeLorean. No, it's not full of cocaine, but don't worry, because he's got some nuclear fission cocaine, but don't worry, because he's got some nuclear fission stuff that he bought from some Syrians, and we're going to go to the parking lot, and we're going to see if we can go back in time. Should be fine.
It'll work out.
It'll all work out, my friends. It'll all look. Elaine, that was her name. She's got that photographic memory.
Yeah.
Where she remembers essentially every day of her life.
Yeah. That's got to be weird.
It is got to be.
Can you imagine, though, that there's certain things you want to forget and you can't?
Yeah. Although, How do I know? Because I don't remember a lot of things, right? So how would I know? You could be telling the truth. You might not. Who am I to challenge you at that point in time?
Yeah.
But she seems to, like, it is so precise. Like, when she talks about, like, I remember watching her. It was actually on the Australian 60 Minutes. They had her on. And because they were interested about her because there was an Australian girl that had the same thing. And they're driving down, like, Hollywood Boulevard. And he goes, what can you tell me about this, say, in 1982? She goes, well, on May 5th, 1982, I actually went to this place right here. And that day I met with, Danny DeVito happened to show up. And he was not a big star yet. And we were just meeting it as a cast. And it was crazy. And she can tell you everything that happened, what they wore, the whole 9 yards.
And I don't think it was the Australian interview, but I remember in an interview her talking about when she found out that not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
That was not a normal thing for people to have. She thought everybody remembered everything.
Yes. Every day of your life. Like you said, though, think about all the bad things you'd want to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the embarrassing things.
Yeah. I've had some of those.
Oh, we've all had some embarrassing things.
We all have, and she can't forget them. She's never going to be able to get away from them.
What do you mean I'm not wearing pants?
I can play piano, though.
Oh.
You mean they saw me?
I wasn't invisible. Somebody lied to me. It was the Libyans. You're right. It was the Libyans. It wasn't the Syrians. They came later. It was the Libyans. Oh, my Lord. Sandra says he sounds like he looks like an unmade bed. That's pretty much what he kind of looks like.
That's good description.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a great description because he looks like he got hit by lightning.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's the best way to describe him. It's like, well, I don't know, Alex. By the way, guys, so our girl was in Yahoo. Our girl Kylie. About her latest video.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen her all over the place over the last couple weeks. They're coming hard for her and her wackiness. Kylie. I don't know what you're doing over there, Kylie Brewer, but you better figure it out. But she was in Yahoo, a bunch of other places, and people are just destroying her. For I don't know if you guys are aware of this. She says some stuff that's a little insane.
A little?
A little. But this was about segregation. Because, what side would she be on? I'm telling you, who gets offended by her the most? It's got to be black people.
It wouldn't surprise me at all.
They just got to turn and run when they see her. Like, oh, God, here she comes.
Please don't help us anymore. We don't need this kind of insanity.
Why don't you go bug the Asians? Right, go bug them. They'd love to hear from you.
Go check on their college test scores.
Yes, indeed. Several of you, Rodney's T-shirts are the best. Yeah, we got to get some of those things. Those Rodney T-shirts. Rodney for 2028. So I'm Big Meteor because I think Big Meteor would be fun.
I'm with you. And we've never had that before.
What?
Big Meteor.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be awesome.
Let's just see how this goes. Right? That would just be awesome. And a lot of you are chiming in. So if you guys missed last hour we played yesterday, people are like, why'd you guys do it on a Sunday? Belle, explain to people why we did the Jerri Green interview on a Sunday.
Because she was up in town. She's from Shelby County, so she lives in Memphis. She's not here all the time. She came up to do a couple of events. We were able to get her into the studios based on her schedule. And then once she got the interview done, I think there was a couple other places she had to go. Then she went home.
Yeah. And that's
so we work around their schedule. It's very, very rare that an interview comes together that is us saying, well, you have to do it at this time.
Somebody's like, be a man, do a live interview.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
We would have if she had been available.
Yeah. We've asked.
In fact, when they first started talking about it, they wanted to do it over the phone. I'm like, no, that's going to sound like garbage. We want her to at least, the audio quality to at least be good on her interview.
Yeah.
So we tried to work through a few different options, and this is the one that came to fruition.
I mean, it's that simple. And I see a lot of you. The big thing is the culture war stuff. You care about trans, that's the number one issue.
And for me personally, I think somebody's got to stop China from buying our farmland here in Tennessee. Oh, well, I'm sorry. They already did that.
You don't even know. That's a lie.
Well, especially if they're trans.
Oh, one time I heard about a trans Chinese kid who came here, right, became trans, then from there started Sharia law, which is totally against what Xi and the communists want, but then spread communism, and that was right after he bought his farm to turn it into a commune.
It's just ridiculous. People just seek out things to complain about.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm happy. I got to fix that somehow.
You know what? I'm not miserable, and I need to be miserable.
I need to fix this.
Yes. I've got a problem that needs to be fixed, even though it's not a problem. And I got a solution, so let's find that problem. Let's get it fixed.
I got a solution to something that's not a problem.
Yeah. The average person, when you go out and you talk about it, and it's funny because I'll talk to a lot of you guys, and you've never met a trans person. By the way, most trans people, they're embarrassed by the wackiness that goes on. They want to live their life in peace. They just want to, whatever. You're over 18, be happy, knock yourself out. I had no problem with that. Younger generation, no, sorry. Once you get over 18, you're an adult. You're allowed to make adult decisions. It's that simple. That being said, people are worried about less than 0.1% of the nation as if something's going to happen and take us over. And and most people that are totally worried about this. They've never met a trans person. They have no kids playing in sports, right? They have any of those things, but it's that culture war issue that gets them going.
I've been hanging out in women's bathrooms for years, and it had nothing to do with trans people.
Really?
Yeah.
In fact, there was a guy in Boston who went to the school board because they were pissed. Why? Because a bunch of boys ran into the girls' restrooms and were chasing the girls. They weren't trans. They were dudes. Because that's what guys do. We're stupid.
Yeah.
That's why when you ever ask a guy, hey, what would you, if you had one superhero, what's the first thing guys say? I want to be invisible.
Yep.
And what's the first thing they say? I'm going to go into the girls' locker room. Because we're pigs.
No lies detected.
No, I mean, we're pigs. And then last week, or was it a couple weeks ago, it was like, Ken's all, yeah, I would do that. And then I would go rob banks. But the stuff's not invisible.
Right. They can still shoot me.
You're carrying around big wads of cash that are just floating in the air.
That would not have been a well thought out plan.
Oh, no, that was. But you were trying, though.
I was trying.
Yeah, and I was going to give it, I was going to be a do-gooder with the money, too.
Exactly.
I'm a Robin Hood, but with a heart.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Yeah, totally. Just Robin Hood with a heart, and it's going to be awesome. Don't worry, we've got you guys covered. That was so funny.
It's going to be a super freaking awesome day.
For the humanoids. Did you see, Ken, did you see that video of those crazy-ass robots?
No, not yet.
So the robots in China,
right
they had their second annual humanoid competition.
On the TikTok?
One of the robots broke the world record for the fastest 100. Beat Usain Bolt.
Yeah, beat Usain Bolt.
Which, by the way, one of the things they have a real issue with is they can't stop. So the first one that broke the record, it just ran into a whole bunch of cameras. Then they had to put up a big, gymnastics mat to try to catch them.
Wow.
But it broke Usain Bolt's record.
Oh, was that 100
meter record.
100 meter.
Yeah.
Just wait till they're carrying guns and machetes.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. That's going to be exciting. Well, the Ukrainians, Russia announced they killed a bunch of Ukrainians with a drone that was powered only by AI. The people on the ground made no decisions. They told AI to go look and hunt, and it did, and it made the decision. It's happening.
That's scary.
That's the scary part right there. That is the scary part.
It's up to you, Merlin.
Merlin. I like that. Got to name it. So, but the robots are coming. The focus was on, watching that stuff is neat, but they're so much further ahead on the robots than we are, the Chinese, because they've got a lot of people they're going to have to take care of for the future, and they're not big into bringing in cheap labor, although they're bringing it in from the outside of the cities. But at this point in time, You know, a lot of the stuff they focus on was the mundane, and they're not ready for house stuff yet. They're not ready to be your maid or whatever.
A little off the subject, but did you see that article about the Chinese putting one of their billionaires, gave him life in prison for real estate fraud?
Yeah, for Evergrande. He was the real estate guy. He's going to jail forever.
Yep.
You know what? I'm surprised they didn't sentence him to death. But
think about somebody got convicted of real estate fraud over here. What would that constitute?
$1 million to Trump, and he'd pardon him.
Or I mean, take politics out of it.
Yeah.
It's still going to be okay. You're going to get fined this, and we'll sentence you to 10 years.
Yeah,
you know they're like you're out of sight.
And there is
You're
no
done.
pardon coming from this guy. This guy's in jail for the rest of his life. All right, coming up, Matt is here. I hung out with Matt on Saturday. We had fun. Matt and I played some golf. We'll talk about that amongst other things. The Welcome Matt, straight ahead. Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 99.7. Wrapping it up on this Monday, greatest day of the week. Long time no see, my friend.
You know, I just figured out what you guys are doing with that Monday thing, and I just figured that out. I don't think I like it.
What is? What,
I think I just.
Wait. What are we doing with the Monday?
I think I'm wise
I'm on
to
Matt's
what
side.
I think I'm wise to what you guys are doing because you really don't like Mondays. So you feel like if you say you do like, I think I know what's going on here.
Your kid's back there in the news booth going, "It's my favorite day of the week."
Right, and he knows.
Ken, tell him how much we love Mondays, please.
It's the best day of the week because you finally lose the freedom of the weekend, and it's by God time to get back to work.
Hanging out with the people we love.
Okie dokie, then.
I don't think he's buying it, Ken.
I don't think I'm buying it either, Ken.
You know what? This is why we can't listen to you because you just don't understand.
I know.
You don't understand our love of the Mondays.
Mr. Negative on the Mondays.
So you're probably like,
I'd rather be playing golf.
That was a lot of fun, though.
Or whatever.
We golfed this weekend.
We did have a good time. It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. You guys should have
not so humid.
No, it was nice.
I mean, it was hot. It got hot. It was hot in the afternoon, but
Did you
not
boys
so
get
humid.
a hole in one?
Well, we got a hole in some.
Did they get drunk? What?
Got a hole in some.
Yeah, that was.
I've never had a hole in one, Ken, but I've had a hole in some.
Yes. I've had one hole in one.
Uh-huh.
And it was awesome. The next day, I played the same hole, and I killed a bird.
So you got a hole in one, then a birdie.
I'm serious. And Charlie was with me both days. She's like, "Daddy, that's great." The next day, she's like, "Daddy, you killed the bird."
My father-in-law called me one day, and he said, "Hey, because he lost his best friend, and they used to golf together. And when I'm down there, I golf with him, and he said, hey, I just want to let you know on number 11." And I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, I got a hole in one." And I'm like, "Really?" I was like, "Did you tell everybody?" He goes, "Nah, I was by myself." And I'm like, "Well, and he goes, nah, it's not the same. I was by myself."
Well, the good news is when you get a hole in one, you're supposed to be the one that buys all the drinks at the bar.
And so he just bought himself some beers, and then he's done.
Smart thing to do.
Smart guy.
Smart thing to do. We had fun, though. We hung out with Keith, our buddy, from old Contours there, and Catherine.
Good people.
His peeps.
Good people.
Yeah.
I was there, too.
Yeah, we had a good time. Matt and I running around, driving the cart, crazy like, almost flipping it over, hitting the ball in the water.
That happened, at least on one occasion. Maybe more.
You did you hit that drive that was awesome, and you avoided the water. And the next one,
right in the water.
Straight into the water.
Yeah.
Even though it was nowhere near where we were aiming. And that's what, you did one.
And that's what we love about golf.
And that's what we love about golf. That right there is what we love about golf.
A humbling experience.
So what's on your radar today, my friend?
We've got a conversation about the Justin. Justin Pearson has decided that despite 50 years of liberal control of Memphis, he's going to blame Republicans for the problems in Memphis. So we're going to talk to Brent Taylor about that coming up at 5:05. Of course, those two are going after one another in the 9th Congressional District race. I cannot continue to expend the emotional energy on an organization that seems intent to destroy itself. I'm talking about the WNBA. I mean, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you guys. I didn't like the product before. I'm not going to consume the product after. And if they want to be dumb enough just to spit the bid on opportunities, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you anymore. I just can't get mad at it.
I'm starting an organization. It's going to be a 501(c), and it's called "Let's Get the Women Out of Women's Sports." And I think it's a good thing for everybody because I think that'll help. So the minute we can get the women out of women's sports, that's going to be a wonderful thing for all women.
I just love that you do a thing and people respond to the thing that you've done because it's really dumb, and then you get really mad at the people because they respond in a way that you think is mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Okay. And by the way, with all of the press you have, you make sure to continue to jack the pooch and do nothing but embarrass the league rather than expand it and get eyeballs.
Did you hear what the Chicago chick was screaming at Cancer Freedom?
No, what was
that Sophie Cunningham's not going to have sex with you? Only that's not what she was saying. She was saying Sophie Cunningham's not going to bleep you.
Oh.
And Cantor Freedom's like, and I was yelling back at her that there were kids around, and then I got kicked out of the arena. So,
He did.
He did. Well, there you go.
There you go. All right, Matt, straight ahead. You guys have a good one. Back tomorrow.